Hi, my name is Dan Geist, and this is Engelgeist. Thank you for coming to my channel to watch my second pick a card. And it wouldn't be a pick a card by Engelgeist if you didn't hear a bulldog licking somebody in the background. So bear with me, my dog will finish her bathing duties at some point. Anyways, tonight's pick a card is surrounding the mind, body, and spirit. I thought it would be interesting to try and attempt to do a pick a card to see which of my watchers or my viewers were more mind-oriented, spirit-oriented, or body-oriented, or like where were our strengths with those things and where were our weaknesses? Where do we need? What do we use more? What do we utilize more? And what do we need? More awareness of in those in the Holy Trinity is what I call the mind, body, spirit. So I've set up 3 piles. I don't know what's in each pile. I am working with a new deck again tonight, so that'll be interesting for me. I have the owl as the first pile. I have the bird as the second pile, the white bird, and then the feather as the third pile. And just so you guys know, there is some significance to why I placed each on each pile, but I don't know what each set of cards is going to represent. The owl represents the mind because the owl is sort of a smart bird, like how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? And then the bird represents the body because he's kind of like this fat white bird and he's really cute, and I wanted to keep it in theme, right? And then the feather represents the spirit. And this is a feather that I found that I believe came to me from spirit about a month ago on the street when a magical thing had happened and I was leaving somewhere with something that I had found for myself, and I found this feather right on the street and I felt as though it was meant for me. So that represents spirit. I do not know what the cards are going to be underneath these things. So if you think you're more of a mind person, you don't necessarily have to pick the owl. I just have them out there to sort of represent those energies. Up here, I have these little Mexican pictures. I'm not sure what they're called, but this is the birth of Christ. This is the actual Holy Trinity, the representation of the mind, body, and spirit coming together. And then this is the crucifixion of Christ and him coming off of the cross. So I feel like it's a whole complete circle. And then I had obsidian representing the mind, rose quartz representing the body, and the amethyst representing the spirit. So there is purpose and setup to why things are the way they are. Hopefully, we'll see how the cards play out, but what I would like you to do is to close your eyes and take a deep breath, very deep breath, and bring yourself to center. And then when you open your eyes, whichever pile you feel most drawn to, you can choose. And some of you, if you want, you can choose more than one pile, but just choose according to your intuition. If you need to pause the video, please feel free to do so. This is a general reading, and so if it doesn't resonate with you, just leave whatever doesn't make sense or doesn't sound right. There are plenty of other great readers on YouTube and Facebook, and you can certainly go about finding other people. I can also suggest some that I am a fan of. And beyond that, it is a general reading, and this is a first attempt for this kind of a subject, so I'm not sure how the turnout will be, but we'll get started. So I'm going to start with pile number 1. That's the owl. I'll let you guys look at the little owl. Okay. So I pulled 3 tarot cards, like I did on the first pick a card. So we'll start there. So the first card is the Page of Coins. The second card is the Six of Staffs. Sorry, my dog's chewing a bone in the background. I hope that doesn't bother you. Oh no, you can't have that poem. The next card is the 3 of Coins. So, I'm sorry, my dog is wanting to play with his squeaky toy right now. No, stop it. Okay, so let me just look at these for one moment. This is actually feeling like a very mental pile, even though it was underneath the owl, and I didn't intend for that. But these coins definitely make me feel like this is somebody that is more mentally powered. They're thinking more about the long term. This group would probably be people that worry about their future quite a bit. They spend a lot of time in their mind thinking about how to make things in their life work. When I look at this page of coins, he looks very determined, but he also looks a little bit worried or stressed out about what's to come. He's also holding on to this coin a little bit tightly. So there's some fear base in this card that I feel like that also makes me feel like it's a little bit more mind oriented. When I look at this three of coins, what I have here, coins usually represents like pentacles or more material things in the material world. But what I have here is I have these people here that look like they're arguing, and then these people are doing business business dealings off of the boat. There's a lot of sort of being out in the world and having to be mentally like I would say for this group, having to deal with the public, hold on one second. Gus, do you have to do that now, please? I'm filming. Seriously, Gus, stop. Just go lay down, okay? It's like you don't even mess with it all day long until I start filming. Sorry, guys. So this is the three of coins. It feels like you're out in the world quite a bit, trying to make things happen, make things work, business-wise, career-wise. So it's a constant mental process going on for you. It's constantly sort of thinking, how can I get ahead? How can I sort of get this to happen, make this to happen? The Six of Staff also comes off sort of mental to me in the sense that he's having... hold on one second, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm back. This Six of Staffs makes me think that he's sort of having a parade, right? In the sense that he is, speaking to his people. He's a public speaker, so this group, I think, is probably people that are sort of more in the public eye, more about making good first impressions, constantly thinking about how to best get ahead in the world, how to sort of, be leaders more than followers. So they're always thinking 2 steps ahead. To me, this feels like very like career-oriented, status-oriented, a little bit fearful, a little bit worried. What else do I feel like? They also want accolades, I feel like, in this group. Like they want to be noticed for their mental capacity. So it's interesting that this was under the owl because the owl was representing the group that is more ruled by the mind. Now, the next card is from the Spirit deck from John Holland. Let me set these down. Let's see what this says. Ancestral wisdom. We are your ancestors and we love you. We walked the earth many years before you, and we ask you at this poignant time to learn and grow from our past experiences. You are our legacy, and we will keep on helping you as we continue to evolve here in the spirit world. Again, if you look at all of these pictures in these people's minds, this definitely feels more like a mental card to me. It feels like to be honest, the fact that this card is green feels like there's a healing that takes place in this card when we actually turn things over to our ancestors or to our spirit guides. So what I'm thinking is for this group, if it's a more mental group or if you're more of a mental thinker, it would be wise for you to probably turn towards your ancestors, your spirit guides, towards God, and sort of let them take some of that mental worry, mental stress away from you, because this Six of Staff says to me, actually, all of these cards, even the Three of Coins, says to me that you have the opportunity to have a lot of the things that you're looking for if you don't let the stress and worry get in your way. So a way to counterbalance that would be to bring in a little bit more of the spirit or the ancestral wisdom that's here in this card. Bringing that in, that's where maybe you say your vulnerability would be, is bringing that in and allowing sort of spirit to take over a little bit, you might find an easier time of what it is you're trying to create and how you go about it. It might be a little bit easier on your mind. This last card is from the Angel Oracle, so let's just see what angel you guys got. You got the Angel Prince of the South. Can you see that? And it says, I let go of all pain and tension as I float in the sea of divine love. So maybe negative thinking, fear, pain, tension, whatever's causing you discomfort, take heart in the fact that you can let it go and you can float in the sea of divine love, which is very similar to this ancestral wisdom, where they're saying, let us come in, let us take over, let us help you out. We can maybe make this journey a little bit easier for you. And that way you're sort of, if you're using both the mind, which is a very powerful tool for this group, if you're so focused with your mind, if you actually consciously allow spirit in, you might find that you're going to have much better results, and you are going to have a much more complete and easy experience of it all. And you can, what did they say? You can float in the sea of divine love. Now, if that doesn't sound good, I don't know what does. So now, on to group 2. The big white bird. Those of you who chose the big white bird. And I chose him because he definitely, he's got body, oddy, oddy. I mean, look at him. Big, plump, little bird. So, ceramic. Okay, so let's see what his cards are. So we have we'll start from the bottom, sorry. The 10 of coins. The 5 of staffs. And the 2 of swords. Interesting. So this 10 of coins right out of the gate makes me feel like, actually all of this sort of makes me feel like this group is the body. And the reason why I'm looking at it through this way, I probably shouldn't have told you what each one represented in the beginning. But this man is walking away with his child. It feels like he's trying to keep himself physically safe. This might be his wife here, and she has a baby on her shoulders too. And it feels like they're trying to keep themselves and their family physically safe. So there's definitely an emphasis on the physicality of it to me as I look at this. It feels like they're departing something. So maybe this group has had to deal with sort of abusive or past experiences where they felt like they needed to remove themselves from situations for fear of keeping themselves physically safe. That's sort of what I'm picking up from this. It feels like family is important to this group, and that they would want... They're very grounded in safety, security, and stability, and they find that within their families. This 5 of staffs here feels a little bit on the mental side, but it feels all about like negotiations. It feels all about sort of like trying to find their place in the world. Where do we best fit? How do we fit? There seems to be, it almost feels like there's an argument or a contradiction happening here. And I'm not sure, let me see, what does this mean to me? It feels like this group, you might find yourself in sort of conflict a fair amount. I'm not exactly sure why I feel that way, but it feels like they're all sort of arguing and debating, where these people are sort of fleeing from wherever they are. Here you are, you find yourself back in another situation where you have to sort of argue or debate sort of your right or your what you deserve, like fight for what it is that is yours, if that makes any sense. It could even be a fight amongst family, but it feels to me like there is some sort of debate or struggle going on here in this card, where it definitely feels more physical, like it's the debate or fight over a person's place in the world, what belongs to them, what is their property, what is their personal right, and having to stand up for that and be true to that. The last card is the Two of Swords, and this is interesting because it feels to me like this is us standing on our own, understanding our thoughts, and kind of, I feel like, aside from traditional like tarot meanings, I feel like this person is very proud because they've kind of gotten their place in the world and they understand who they are. They're no longer being pushed around. They're no longer being told what to do or how to do it. They don't necessarily have to sort of like remove themselves from the situation anymore. I also like that he's in this sort of armor and protected. He's got both of his swords. He's kind of like, yeah, come at me, motherfucker. Excuse my language. But, you know, it's like he knows who he is. He knows what he's capable of. So I feel like this group maybe is a little bit more, you've been through a little bit more on a how do I want to say it? Like, you've been through more personal struggles. The first group was more about, you know, personal gain. This feels more about personal struggles. And it does feel more physically oriented to me. Like you guys have been more about protecting oneself. That to me feels more like physical in nature. So these people would be more body conscious, I think. And in the end, I feel like you guys with this Two of Swords, it does say that you will learn how to protect yourself or to feel safe and secure just within yourself. You maybe haven't always felt that way your whole life. You've maybe needed to take solace in others or depend on others, and they've kind of let you down, it looks like from these cards, is what it feels like every time you've done that. And in the process of doing that, you've learned to stand on your own 2 feet and be able to sort of defend and protect yourself, understand what you believe in, and have that be your truth and stand clear in that. So let's see, I'm sorry, these cards were placed out of order. Let's see what your spirit card says. Synchronicity. Are you noticing the signs of synchronicity that the spirit world has been sending to you at this time? People and situations in your life are not just appearing by coincidence. In reality, they're being guided to you from the spirit world to help you for a specific reason. So again, it says here, people and situations in your life are not just appearing by coincidence. In reality, they're being guided to you from the spirit world. People and situations, this makes me feel more physical in nature. Her face, this definitely feels like a focus on the body. So this is more my body group, if you feel that way. But also, this card is definitely telling you, pay attention to the synchronicities, pay attention to the things where spirit is leading you. Don't be, like in these cards, in these tarot cards, it feels like we've been dependent on outside things within our environment to sort of validate us, protect us, give us the security and the stability that we're looking for. But this card is saying, actually, if we look to our outside environment and we look for the synchronicities, for the magic, for the spirit aspect of it all, and we bring that and combine that with the body, we might feel a whole lot safer and a whole lot more stable, a whole lot more centered, like this woman is in this card. And I think that that would be good for you, a more of a balanced feeling. That might be what leads you to this feeling of, come on, bring it on, I can take on the world. So let's look at your angel card and see what angel you guys got. Excuse me. You have the guardian angel of youth. He's kind of a cutie. As I share my enthusiasm, humor, and sense of fun, I protect and honor my youthful spirit. So those of you, I think this is about relaxing a little bit and just having a little bit of fun. It looks like I said in the other cards, these previous tarot cards here, it looks like you guys have had your fair shares of debates, arguments, struggles, departures from loved ones, things that have caused you pain or sadness that you've actually probably felt in your body and held for a long time. You might this group might suffer from some chronic illnesses or blockages energetically that are sort of in our bodies that we need to let go of. This would be the way to let go of it, is through this humor. If you can find humor in a sense of lightness, you might be able to shake off some of that stuff on a physical level so that you feel a little bit physically better. You guys might have a tendency to carry a little bit more weight or have a little bit more depressive energy. But I just want to say this Two of Swords card says to me, and this angel of humor really says to me that at a certain point you will master this. You will be able to sort of let it go and feel protected and feel safe, even if you haven't felt that way most of your life. That is coming to you. Excuse me. A good way to attain that is also by focusing on humor, lightness, looking at the good things and the positive things in life, the synchronicities, the things that are like happening around us that are magic, that make things easier for us. Those things will help us to access this angel of humor and keep a lighter attitude and bring ourselves. People that vibrate at the body level tend to vibrate heavier, more dense, similar to like, you know, like at a physical nature, at a 3D body level, it's a heavier vibration than say a mental vibration or say even a spiritual vibration. So you want to keep it light and counterbalance it with not only like looking at the spiritual side of things with synchronicity, but also looking at the humor with the guardian angel of youth. Staying young in your mind will help sort of heal any issues or any heaviness or things that are maybe affecting you on a physical body level that might be too heavy. Okay, so this is the last one, and this is the feather. I'll show you guys the feather. Let's look at the tarot cards. Sorry, this video is a little wonky, but it is my second pick a card ever. Okay, so the first card is the Ten of Swords. Wow. Mayhem and bloodshed. Whoa! We have the Six of Swords. And we have the Nine of Staffs. Okay, so I'm going to say this. I'm not going to go with traditional meanings. I want to look at this for what I feel like it's drawing out in me as I'm looking at these cards. This group is more spiritually oriented. I feel like you guys have been through hell and back. Like, I thought the last group had it bad. You guys are the ones that have really been through it. This is kind of like war. This is somebody has been like almost brought to not the brink of death, but like we feel like we've died and been reborn on some level. And that could be a spiritual rebirth in a sense. But there's a definite like being taken to the edge here with this card and then being brought back. This Six of Swords shows the coming back, the sort of like sort of defining ourselves in our brain, bringing ourselves back to sort of reality, back to the new place, the new person that we are, having learned from those like, you know, harder experiences that were in the first card, having, you know, sort of been reborn, essentially. This is sort of like the rebirth or going back into the world as the new person that we are. When I look at this Nine of Staffs usually signifies like a struggle or being stuck. To me, I don't feel like this feels like he's being stuck. This feels like he's strong. He's standing there and he's almost building the staffs around him is what he looks like to me. The wind is sort of whipping his sash up in the air, like showing to me that he has power. There's all of this grass growing here, which says that there's growth, there's new understanding, there's new awareness of who you are, what you stand for, what you believe in. There's an awareness and a strength here. And this being a staff is like a wands card, which is a spiritual card. Wands is the spiritual suit. Staffs would be the spiritual suit of this deck. It feels like you're standing solid in your spiritual strength and awareness of who you are and what you know to be true. To me, it feels like this card is about continuing to build and grow, and where it ends, no, you know, there's that, round and round it goes, where it stops nobody knows. That's kind of how I feel with this card. So this is a beautiful card to represent for those people that went through this sort of traumatic experience somewhere in their earlier part in life, but that traumatic experience really did almost need to happen to lead us on the journey to this place where we are now, where we find ourselves now, where we're building the life and the sense of self and the relationship to our spiritual self and the awareness of who we are deep in our spirit that is such a source of strength for us. All of that needed to happen and transpire to get us to this point. So your spirit card, let go. Once you let go of the outcome, you'll be able to release all of the emotional constraints that have held you back in the past. Trust in the higher good and the guidance of spirit, as we have only your best intentions at heart and will do everything in our power to protect you. I like this card. I like that it's hands, And I like that it's releasing these leaves, which feel more physical to me. So this says to me that those of us that are really spiritual or who have chosen this, and maybe we're more in our spiritual self and in our rebirth of spirit, and we're strong in that, maybe bring ourselves to a place of more the body and honoring the body, like the feeling of these leaves, the letting go and letting spirit be our guide. Spirit has brought us to this card, correct? We've been through a lot of like sort of maybe intense experiences, but we've grown from it spiritually, and we know who we are, so we can sort of let go. And it says, you will be able to release all of the emotional constraints that have held you back in the past. Emotions to me are the spirit's way of communicating through the body. And when I look at these hands, it feels like to me maybe becoming friends with our body and our emotions is actually a good thing. It's the next step for us. It's not necessarily something so scary. And part of that is some of our emotions are probably pretty intense, judging from this experience in this card here. So, and even, this journey that we've been on to get to the point where we are now, we don't want to forget that we can still have things to learn, and our emotions are still there to teach us. Our physical body has information for us. Our physical body is the part of us that carries us through this lifetime and harbors or holds all of our sort of experiences at a physical level. So we need to honor that, and we need to not put so much emphasis on the spiritual that we forget that our mental self and our physical self more so, because we have this Ten of Swords in our tarot here, so we know about the mental anguish, we know about the mental body, we've dealt with it and we've suffered through it and kind of overcome that part. It's the physical body that we sort of want to honor and remember to respect, that would bring us into balance. Let's look at the angel card for this one. You get the Angel of Faith. She's beautiful. I have faith that goodness and joy are mine now and forever. That's a beautiful card. So to me, I like, what's more spiritual than faith? I think that having faith comes easily to us, and I think that having faith in ourselves on a spiritual level comes easily to this group. But what I am going to say is, how about we try and have faith in other things more physical in nature, like our bodies, like the emotions that we may feel, some of the feelings that come up that we maybe don't want to deal with, some of the experiences that we have dealt with in the past, having faith that maybe those things had served a purpose and brought us to where we are today, having faith in others, having faith in just, everything that we do is a strong spiritual practice, and remember that goodness and joy are yours now and forever by having that faith. I hope this made sense. I'm sorry that my dogs got sort of out of hand there. And I hope that this resonates with people. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I am going to put in the video description after posting this video the timestamps and the decks that were used. I will also put theme songs for each group. I'm going to ponder that for a moment and find theme songs. I like doing that. So please check out the video description. And please like the video, comment on the video, share the video, and please subscribe to my channel. I promise these videos will get better. Maybe I'll just, keep my dogs in the bedroom from the very get-go. But thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy this. I hope it gives you some insight into maybe what areas of the mind, body, and spirit you reside in most, and what areas you might want to give attention to better your experience in this physical world. And I hope that this pick a card helps to bring you guys to a sense of more balance and creation. Okay? So have a great day. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you at the next pick a card. Bye.